Hi everyone, I'm Yuvasri from second year CACB in Kongnadu College of Engineering and Technology. Here I'm going to show the PPT and explain the topic of OS as operating systems. OS is nothing but it is a brain behind on every computer. It is one of the basic components in every computer is an operating system. Let's begin with the introduction of operating system. An operating system is a software that manages the hardware and the software resources. It acts as a bridge between the user and the hardware. It provides an essential service for the computer program. As per the statistics, 98% of computing device uses an operating system or OS statistics in 2023. Examples: Windows, Linux, Mac OS used in laptops, Android iOS used in smartphones, Unix servers and supercomputers. Keys of operating system. There are majorly six keys in an operating systems that are process management, memory management, storage management, device management, user interface and security and protections. Process management is nothing but runs the multiple program efficiently. Memory management, it allocate and optimize the RAM usage. It allocate a space for the storage. Storage management, it handle the file systems and disk space. Device management, it control the peripherals like printers, USB. It controls the external devices like USB, printers and etc. User interface, it provides an graphics user interface and the command line interface. Graphics user interface is based on the visual based interfaces. CLI is a command line interface. It is a text based interface for an user interaction. Security and protection. It prevents an unauthorized access. As per the statistics, as well as the optimized OS can improve a system efficiency by 40% in 2023. Major components of an OS: kernel, process management, memory management, file system management, device drivers, user interface, security and access control. As per the previous slide, we have process management, memory management, user security management and user interface management. Extra kernel management. This is a core management. It controls everything. Process management runs an application, memory management optimizes the RAM, file system management stores and organizes the data, device drivers communicate with the hardware, user interface interact with the user, security and access control, it protects the data. As per the statistics in 2023, the Linux kernel power 80% of the cloud computer server. The kernel, the heart of the OS. The kernel is known as an heart of the OS. It is a core of the OS managing all the system's operations. It runs in non-privileged mode as known as an ring O for direct hardware access. The types of kernel is of three types: monolithic kernel, microlithic kernel, hybrid kernel. Monolithic kernel, it is a fast but complex. It is very tough for executing. It is used in a Linux and Windows NT. Microkernel, more modular but slower. It as compared to the monolithic, microkernel is very slower. QNX and MiniX. Hybrid kernel, best of both worlds, Windows and Mac OS. As per the statistics, a well optimized kernel reduces CPU overhead by 30%, used in Intel and 2023 census. Process management, the OS scheduler. What is process? A process in executing that's the need CPU, memory and IO. How OS manages process? In the three ways: that process scheduling, multitasking, inter-process communications. Process scheduling is nothing but allocating a CPU time efficiencies. It allocates the time for the CPU to run the program. Multitasking, run multiple processes simultaneously one by one. It is run in a linear manner. Multitasking is nothing but the process will run in a linear manner and simultaneously. Inter-process communication, allow the process to talk and to communicate with the each server. As per the statistics in 2023, multi-core CPU with a good process scheduling improve our app performance by 50%. It's said by an NVIDIA. Memory management, it optimizing the RAM. Memory management, memory hierarchy is Registers, cache memory, RAM, disk. RAM is limited, OS manages efficiently. RAM is an random access memory. It is used to store the memory and it is used to access. But the RAM is a temporary memory. The hierarchy of memory is the registers send to the memory to the cache, and the cache stores the memories in a RAM space, and the RAM stores to the disk. The OS memory technique. The technique for an operating system is paging, segmented, virtual memory, and memory protection. Paging and segmented, it divides the memory into a block. Segmented is nothing but a block of code. Virtual memory, it uses a disk space when RAM is full. When the RAM is full and it has no space to store the memory, we use a virtual memory to store the disk space. Memory protection. It prevents the data corruption. It avoids the data to corrupt each other. As per the statistics, virtual memory allows the modern OS to run 8x more applications at once. Used in Microsoft and in the date of 2023. File system and storage management. What is file system? Organizing the data storage and retrievals. File system is nothing but we want to fetch the data from the file. We need to access the data, so that we need to store the data. After storing the data, whenever we need, we use the data by retrieving the data from the file system. File system type: FAT32, NTFS, Windows, Linux, Mac OS, Big data clusters. As per the statistic, SSD based files improve the data read and write speed by 10x. What is a device management? OS control and communicates with the hardware like USB, printers and keyboards. It is a basic tool to control and communicate with the hardware. It's nothing but a device management. Key components: device drivers, I/O scheduling. I/O scheduling is nothing but input and output scheduling. Software that help OS to talk hardware. I/O scheduling, it manages the multiple device efficiently. As per the statistics, the modern device drivers reduce the input lags by the 40% of AMD 2023. User interface, GLI and GUI. User interface, it is nothing but as already seen in a previous PPTs, user interface is of two types: command line interface and graphic user interface. Command line interface is fast, lightweighted, like we used in Linux and Windows PowerShells. Graphical interface is user friendly but resources are heavy. Command line interface is based on the text based interface, and graphics interface is based on the visual based interface. As per the statistics, GUL based on OS adoption is 98% due to the user friendly designs. OS security features: user authentication, passwords, biometric access control, restriction authorized users, encryption and firewalls. It provides data from the attack. How does the process change its states? A process moves between the different states during its executions. The key process state is new, ready, running, waiting, and terminated. New, the process is created but not yet running. Ready, waiting for the CPU allocation. Running, actively executing on an CPU. Waiting, past and wait for an operating systems like input and output or resources. What is an visualization? Visualizations allow the multiple OS instances to run on the same hardware, used in cloud computing, testing, and security standbys. Types of virtualization: full virtualization, para virtualization, containers realization. Lightweighted and virtualization is an containers virtualizations. How to the applications talk to the OS. The system call provide an interface for a user program to access the OS services. The common system call is process control, file management, device management, information management. How does an OS organize the data? The file system manages how data is stored, retrieved, and organized. The file system components: the file name, file extension, file permissions, directories, and paths. File name, it identifies the stored data. File extensions, define and file extensions types like .text, .ex, .mp4. File permissions, read, write, and executes. Organizing the file into a logical structure is directories or a paths. Why is security critical in an OS? An OS is responsible for protecting a data, users, and system resources from attacks. The OS security measures authentication, access control, encryptions, firewalls, and illustrator deductions. What is an embedded OS? It is a lightweighted, specialized OS designed for embedded systems and IoT device. Here are the examples for an embedded device like real-time OS, Android Things, QNX are the basics examples for embedded OS. What is the next for OS development? AI driven OS. Machine learning optimize the system performance dynamically. Quantum computing OS. Cloud native OS. They are the basics development of the OS where the OS plays a key role. Server and cloud computing, smartphones and tablets, supercomputers and embedded systems, they are the basic and key roles for the OS. Upcoming innovations of OS is nothing but the AI optimized OS, quantum computing OS, cloud based OS. AI optimized OS is nothing but Windows 12, Android AI, quantum computing OS is nothing but the IBM, cloud based OS is nothing but the Chrome and OS. As per the statistics, AI driven OS optimization will reduce the energy consumptions by 60%. OS controls everything from the app to memory security. Future OS will be AI driven, more secure and cloud based. The worlds depend on the OS in every second. Thank you for being watching this slides till the end with your smiles. Thank you and continues in the next PPT.